Hey, good morning all, or good afternoon all. I just right on midday. I hope you've all survived the wild and woolly weather we've had. I'm now going to talk to you about the two kits for this week. So the first one we'll do is the Poinsettia DSP one. So I've got the photo in front of the finished card. I'm missing my actual card, so I'm going to be making it for you. And I'll step you through your kit so you're aware of it. So you've got a very vanilla card base. You've got 2 strips of Poinsettia Place DSP. That's the back side of that. You've got 2 strips of red foil, and all the ingredients will be in your tutorial. Isn't that pretty? You have a strip of very vanilla cardstock, and you have a piece of the plush Poinsettia specialty paper. Okay. I've put a couple of scraps in of very vanilla cardstock just for you to stamp a greeting. You've got a piece of cord, which is just going to be popped on with a glue dot. And you've got a length of the real red ribbon, which is also part of the Poinsettia suite. So let's get started with how you're going to put this together. I think the first thing you would want to do is make your vanilla plush layer. And to do that, we're going to use, I've just got my silicone mat here and a bit of scrap which has fallen on the floor, damn it. So let me grab that. And I've got a sponge in it because I want to show you how to do this so you don't get blobs of glue showing through. So we're going to use just a little bit of Tombow. I'm going to put that on my silicone mat because it won't stick. And I've got a sponge, so let me see. Yes, you're in view. So I'm just going to lightly sponge the glue onto the back of my Poinsettia Place, or Poinsettia Plush, the pretty one. And then I'll just pop that now out of the way because we don't need that anymore. I'm going to layer these 2 up together, and that will now go down, and I won't see glue marks. The next thing you're going to do, and you could use either tape or you could use snail if you've got it. I'm just going to use a little bit of snail because I want to pop some of this ribbon on. Now, so the ribbon length is obviously too long, and all you're going to be doing is you're going to be attaching some of this from the back, popping it round and cutting it, and then the rest is going to be a tie. Now I think I've probably, in the directions I've said to cut it about 7 centimeters long. Look, it doesn't have to be that accurate. I'm just going to pop a little bit of tape here. Now I've got some old snail left. We now have some sort of a sealy stuff that's called. And look, I think I'll put that about there. So that's got that layer ready to go. On your card itself, you've got 2 strips of foil and 2 strips of DSP, and I want to show you something. So these go the length of the card, and it's this one's a landscape version, and these sit here, obviously straight, and then this layer goes over the top. So you can probably see already that the gap is wider than this. So we're just going to do them I'll do this one last. So these are the first bits. So you're going to glue them on. You might want to use tape for the foil because sometimes using glue on the back of that you can see the line. And so I'm going to do these 2 bits now. I might, so what I'll do is I will actually stop this and then I'll probably start, but maybe what we'll do is I might try taping it just to see how it goes for you. Generally I would use glue for these small bits, and I'll certainly be using it for the I will certainly use glue for the DSP because it'll be easier. But given that sometimes foil marks, you'll see a glue line, which I don't really want. So let's see how this works for you. I'm going to turn this around so I can actually see what I'm doing. And I want my take your pick, which somehow I've used and I've misplaced it, damn it. So there we are. Trusty fingernail will work. So I want this right over. I want it going from end to end, and I want it running right along the top. There we go. So that'll be okay to get that down. So that's not too hard to do. So we'll try that again, and then I'll get the other pieces on so you can see where you're going with it. I've missed a bit at the end, but I don't think it'll make a huge difference. Maybe I can get a tiny wee bit there. There we go. I had my take your pick up before I was using it, and I've popped it away somewhere, obviously very important. It is sticky stuff, isn't it? There we go. Now I want it right on the end. There we go. Oops. There, down. Alright, so that's that much. Then we'd be using, I might just grab this back again so I don't get glue everywhere. Then I'll be using glue to get this down. Found my tweezers. And I'm going to butt it right up to the edge, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to get glue on that foil, because it's really hard to get it off, and it takes the pretty shine off it. That's all right. This works really well. It's a relatively simple design for you to do, and really what we're doing is just making a feature of this beautiful DSP, because oh my gosh, it's stunning. They work so well together. And I don't have the DSP bundle, the Poinsettia Place bundle yet, but I'm so thinking I'm going to have to invest in it. Now I'm choosing not to put this up on dimensionals. I just really want to glue it, and so I think I will use glue again. Just, it can be my best friend today. I don't want too much near the ends. And I'm sort of going to place it down in the middle, and I'm really just eyeballing it. I don't think there's a better way of doing it. I might just use my grid paper, because that'll give me a good indication of whether it's straight or not. There we are. Now the knot, the next bit for you, is relatively easy. All I did with this is, so I've got that down and it is secure. Okay, I'm going to tie an overhand knot with my ribbon. I haven't trimmed off the edges yet, and I'll probably maybe just do another double one, because I've got plenty of ribbon. There we go. And that'll sit and look quite pretty. If I want to slide it up a bit, I can. Can you see that? Right, there we go. That'll do. Now I can trim that off in a jiff. So now what I need to do is I need to stamp my greeting in real red, and I have chosen the greeting out of the Christmas Gleaming stamp set. There you go. We had this last year, and it's got punches that go with this, so it's really lovely, and I probably should do this in a class too. And I've got my I've got the Merry Christmas, so you can see it's going to have a real red background, and it's going to look like the white is or the vanilla is what you're going to see through it. So let's just have a go at this. I just want to make sure that I've got good coverage. I do, but I am going to use a bit of scrap underneath just to be sure. There we go. There we go. Okay, so that's my greeting, which I've got that there, and I'll grab my classic label punch and cut that out. Classic label one is really good. It's quite forgiving. I think it's quite fun to use, and I can line this greeting up. It's not quite right. There we are. Yeah. So I'm going to pop that about there. But first I'm going to pop some of this foil. It's not foil, it's gold cord, and it's out of a duo pack, so I'm just going to use the cord itself. I'm going to wrap it around my fingers just twice and pop it under there with a glue dot. Oh, there they are. Thought they disappeared, my mini glue dots. And this, I find this way is the easiest way to do it. Look, he's escaped. This bit's naughty. There we go. So you can see I've trapped that there. I can bend that back on itself a little bit. And I will poke that under there, which has got that. And then I'm just going to pop that up on a bit of an angle on some dimensionals. And for that, I'd use my minis. Wish I'd take my pick tool. Oh well, never mind. For the next card, I will have found it, but I don't want to stop videoing or anything else, so I'll just use this. But I prefer my take your pick because I end up with less mess. Okay, and I'm just going to pop that on a little angle. There we go. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to trim off my ribbon. I'm going to stop the vid and come back, and then I'll show you how I'm going to do the inside of it for you, but that's the outside of the card. So I shall be back in a few minutes. Right, so we finished the outside of the card. I have trimmed my ribbon off a little bit. I might just see how that sits. I might trim it a bit more. And now I will do the inside of the card. I'm going to keep it quite simple with just one of the greetings out of the stamp set. So I'm going to choose this and be jolly this season. And I could use these, but I think what I'll do is I'll use this pretty little filigree stamp. Got an ambulance. Oh, 2 fire trucks outside. I hope not more trees down. Scary. Okay, so let's move along with this. So I'm going to lay this up straight on my grid paper. And I'm doing this one in red. In real red. There we go. And then I'll use the filigree one in some old olive, just for a little bit of contrast, because it does also pick up, these colours are in the Poinsettia DSP, so it picks up those colours. Quite simple. It's quite forgiving to stamp as well. I just used a bit of scrap. I always like to stamp this off on a bit of scrap first, just to make sure I've got a good cover. Check it out. Yes, I do. Try not to get a halo happening. One there. I like it. And one there. You've still got plenty of room for your message. There we are. So you have your Poinsettia Place DSP card finished. Have fun playing with yours. There you go. Bye for now.